You do most of the tech stuff. I'll just
you wave your dick in the
fill
air.
in the gaps.
Wave your dick at traffic. Hey guys, John and Guy at SurfFX. We're having a look at Axis foils. Now, this is a pretty in-depth product, so we're just going to kind of give you a big overview of what Axis offer. So, top down, this is one of our best-selling wings. It's our best-selling setups because versatility mostly.
Modular, everything fits everything, and you can swap and change and customize your foil exactly the way you want it. So, start with top, John Bob.
So your top plate, if you look at if you know machine work and stuff like that, you'll see the components on this. The quality is pretty top notch. They're all machined components with the top plate, fuselage, stuff like that. So you've got options with the plate mount, which is the majority of them, and you also have Tuttle. The way it works, it slides into a fairly large sleeve and also decent bolts that come down to the top. Now, pretty handy. They've got the slotted cutouts. As well as some threaded bolt holes too, depending on what system you're running. But that's a nice, quick and easy on and off the board when you've got to take it apart. You don't have to thread each one through. You can leave your nuts in the board.
They got different mills, so your top plate for your 16 is what's on this one. You've got a 19 mil for a thicker mast. So if you go a 19 mil mast, you need a 19 mil top plate, vice versa with the 16. And then the doodad. The doodads fit the mast, so 19 for 19.
Mast heights, top of my head, I think there's about 8 different mast heights you can get, from really short up to over 1 meter now. So there's lots of different heights available, and there's alloy and then some other stuff as well. Down to the fuselage, like I said, the machining on these things is like precise. I don't know, like the finish on them is just nuts. So you got what they call the doodad, and this adapts to the different fuselages, lets them just have different products. Now, that makes it stiff, really stiff, because you have basically a spigot that goes into the mast and really locks in the whole fuselage, that connection there.
234% stiffer, Adrian will tell you.
Yeah, Adrian, the owner and designer of Axis, he's a tech nerd and absolutely loves this kind of stuff. So it's good having a guy like that on this.
Short versus ultra.
So yeah, you've got different length fuselages. So however long the back section is and how the size of the rear wing, that controls the front wing. So that stabilizes it. So if you shorten that up, it makes it a lot faster. If you put a smaller rear wing on it, it makes it a lot faster, but you lose that kind of stability as a beginner intermediate. So with the different length fuselages, you've got what they call a standard, quite long, which they rarely don't even use as a standard anymore. The new standard is what they call the short. You then have an ultra short.
Short difference.
Yep. And they've recently announced a crazy short, which is going to be real fast to pump.
Yeah, it changes the pitch. So when you go a lot shorter, you do get a lot more sensitivity forward and aft. So you get a lot more sensitivity, and it makes it sometimes, too much for most guys. But the short, we found amazing guys get used to the ultra short, and within 2 sessions, they're not noticing the difference anymore. It's pretty crazy how quickly you sink in. So pumping's a bit sharper on the ultra short too.
If you're doing multiple sports, this is where you start changing up. So you've got a windsurfing fuselage option, which is longer to get the wing farther in front. And then you also have a kite surfing fuselage option to run even smaller wings to more for kite surfing. Wing-wise, okay, this is where Axis really stand out.
Well, you've seen all these started to get some good airtime on the internet. This is the new 91. Amazing, these high aspect Glide Series wings are just amazing for pumping. We didn't think they'd turn as nice, but they're turning equally as nice as one of the favourite 900 wings. So guys are finding that, these wings are starting to become quite confusing when you're starting to go through the new range, but they're all insane.
It lets you specialize and go to different aspects. So if you want something that's way more maneuverable, carvier fin, carvier wings, you've got the options of like what's on here and here.
76 and 86, these are your new gull wing style wings. If you want to bang bulk turns and come out of turns quicker than say some of the 100 wings. These will come out of a turn back the other way a lot quicker. They've got a lot shallower chord, so they're quicker again.
If you want mega lift for like light wind wing dinging, downwinding, you've got the options there too on stuff like that, which is a new called the 115. And rear wing.
Sometimes we're finding like the smaller you go, it doesn't really change your top speed a hell of a lot. We're finding that they're stabilizers, and they basically, like for a 1150, if you put a 340 on it, which you've got there,
on
370, yeah. 340's down there. Guys are finding with such a large wingspan, they can keep it moving a lot quicker. They can steer it, they can make it turn. Flat ring.
3 different ways: turned up, flat, and turned down.
Yeah, so this is a bit of an unknown. People haven't seen much of this 390 gap. A lot of people have had their thoughts on it. I've used it for nearly every wing now, and I've found combined with these gull wings, it tends to calm them down a bit. So sometimes if you find this a bit twitchy and you put the 390 on, it makes it a lot more controllable. And I guess for banging turns, a wingtip that's face down as opposed to yours
it's going to pop
isn't going to breach as early, which I'm sure everyone's been taught. This is going to breach a little bit earlier than a downturn wing, and it's going to behave quite erratically. It can sometimes feel like it's going to drop you a bit. You know, you're not going to be ready for it. But Larry loves this. We've got guys, a big friend of mine that rides it mainly with a 101 and a 91 prone, so he loves it. Get used to it, and it's like anything, you get used to it.
Majority
of the 370, 340 for little guys, and the 390 is going to be really popular. You watch.
So Axis is, in a general sense, is a company that is able to really get their new products developed and out in the market quickly, and it's just allowed it to have a huge range and take a lot of market share, because if you want the latest, you go for Axis, because the latest is coming sooner than the other guys.
And don't get annoyed, because he's going to keep making wings every few months, and that's what's going to keep progressing everything. And
it's like boards in other board sports. You know, you build a quiver of boards for different situations. It's the same thing with these wings. So your board stays the same, and you just be getting different wings for different days.
So just quickly on these two, 91, 1150, there's one in between, a 101 which everyone knows about. We do have that one in the office, grab it. This 1150 is going to be amazing for light wind wingdinging. This I've been using a lot with the wingding, and it is amazing. It gets up in nothing, and it turns beautifully. So for overpowered conditions, I've been riding the little 76, which is on the foil on the ground there. It's a smaller version of this. The 76 for the wingding and my prone is becoming seriously my favourite wing.
Better turning.
Yeah, it wants to turn. So in the surf, I've got a lot more confidence on the gull wing shape, because they can really turn off a wave quicker. Yeah, and downwinding on the wing, I used the 76 against the 90 the other day, and the 76 was smoking the 90.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know if it was the rider or the wing, but
well, it's like a lot. You know, right now you're probably sitting there, if you're new to this, going, "Wow, what are they talking about? I kind of missed a bit." Watch it again, have a little look, check it out on the website. The different shapes and sizes of the wings. It'll all kind of make itself, clear. So as we mentioned before, the kite surfing option with these, the kite wings, and the kite fuselage have a little bit different attachment on the front. You can still use the smaller surf wings, but you can get away with the lighter one for the kiting. So a little bit shorter. You've got only 3 bolts down the center on the fitment, and it's
so you can't use any surf wings with this. You can only use kite wings, just to clarify that.
But it gives you the option to be able to easily swap, and all you got to do is, the fuselage and the smaller range of kite surfing wings. So you can really multi-sport this quite well.
You can, yes. And toe wings, the Lost Boys are using these apparently and loving them. That was that latest big wave shot.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll be using tomorrow. It's going to be awesome.
So watch it again, have a pen and paper, take a few notes, give us a call if you want to talk about it, shoot us an email. We can run you through a few options for your size, your conditions you ride, and your ability, and we can help you set up the ideal setup from an Axis foil for you.
Like when we talk about the rear wings and speed and stuff, what do you think on that? Like when we're telling people that the littler wings go faster and stuff.
They're really stable.
They're more stabilisers. Yeah, not sort of.
Yeah, there's very little. I mean, there is probably.
And shorter fuselages might go faster, but I don't know if it does.
No,
it's more the front wing we want to emphasise.
You know what's important? The thing we really need to emphasise? If you want more videos with Guy and I talking to dribble, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way we know at least you're watching. That's it, really.
Yeah, true.
That's about it.
Very good. I agree. Debate a bit more. Have some arguments.
We should have a masked debate.
I'd lose.
I don't know.
You're both wankers. So.
We could get a few team riders in and we could have a masked debate.
Master. Okay. I forgot you were filming.